Threads has been around for just about a year, which is great news. Congratulations to Threads on making it that far. What we're going to be doing, because it's become such a great place for finding poems, seeing discussions on poetry, is we're just going to take our time, head on over to Threads, and take a look and find some poems and just respond to them. Leave a comment, find something that we like for each of the poems, spread some good vibes, read some work, talk about our experiences with it. And if you guys want to share your own experiences with Threads, you can let us know too. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys, for whatever time it is where you are. Welcome to Diverses Live. This is our weekly poetry show where we show up to talk about poetry. We talk about craft. We talk about the business side of poetry, how to have it sustain you not only creatively, but financially, and to guide you in this process, into this journey, into the written word. There is me. Hello, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. Let us begin our journey. I'm going to share my screen with you so we can do this together. So what I have done is I just went over to the search bar and I typed in poem. And something that they added, which is cool, I didn't know they didn't always have this, is they have added a recent thing. So you can separate between top posts, I guess like trending ones, versus ones that are more recent. Okay. And my goal is I really want to try to find some poems that don't have any comments on them, so that way we can leave a comment and see if we can get some help so that these poems can get a little bit, maybe just a little bit more exposure. So we'll read them really quick. We'll see something we like, we'll leave a comment, and then we'll move on. And if you see something that you like that you would like to share with me, you can let me know. This first one from the user, Nobody Poet. A nobody poet draws a line in the sand, around and around she goes, where she'll stop nothing knows, the nothing that starts at your toes and twists all the way up to your nose, reaching down through your sinuses to muddle with your soul, a kind nothing that created every living thing out of chaos. And wonder spells and thunder for art is just chaos controlled. And now the poet stands with one foot in the sand while the line she has drawn has cut too thin. All right. One thing that really stands out to me, because I really think that helps open up interpretations and things like that, I think that the lack of punctuation in this momentum, I really like. I'm a big fan of how this piece, give me a connection, there you go. I really like, as a poet doesn't use a lot of punctuation in my own work, I really like how the lack of punctuation here really causes the rhythm to speed up and move for me, especially when this is read orally. The other thing I'm going to comment on too is that I think that because it's a poem that is really paying attention to sound and rhythm, which you can see by all the rhymes like goes, nose, toes, nose, is, especially that little beginning sequence, it really causes things to kind of cascade very quickly. Which I think kind of reinforces that, like the momentum of like the around and around, the sense of nonstop. So what we're going to say is the momentum here without the punctuation and with the rhymes really complements the like the disorientation maybe and spinning of the speaker slash the not stopping. All right, we got one down. We're going to keep rolling. Okay, and again, we're trying to highlight pieces that do not currently have comments on them. Okay, I'm going to refresh, see if new ones have come up. And as we go through this, if there's things that you see about the poems you can let us know and we'll write a message for you. Or you can find it yourself if you use Threads. Oh, Devin Tyler Ross just wrote a new prose poem. Let's see what we got. See what we got here. Okay. Elvira, the beer is for sleeping. I can't bear to be able not to. Buzzed me is better at nightmares. Besides, I can crack wise at the creatures. Point out the sweating human neck melting under the mantis mask. The fuming irradiated hillside freshly painted and still wet. Cut, cut, cut. They tear down the scene. Set up for the next. I lie on the couch waiting for my part, dressed in the dark. Okay. The thing that stands out to me the most is I feel like this poem has a lot of unusual little quirks. Like the beers for I can't bear to be able not to. Like there's like these little chunks, like that's a little kind of tricky to read, which I kind of like. Buzz me is better at nightmares. Besides, putting like the besides at the end of the line. I can crack wise at the creatures, point out sweating human neck melting under the mantis mask. Cut, cut, cut. This is the scene. So you have what I imagine it seems to be filming or something like that. So there's a lot of like disorientation in the beginning sequence, and then things become a lot clearer at the next, So I really like how the poem requires a second read once the second half places the first more. And that second read really helps ground intriguing lines like sweating human neck melting under the mantis mask, because then it's like, oh well, maybe it was like a monster movie or something like that. Bam, we did another one. Okay, once we're finished with the stream, we'll kind of recap and see all the poems we did and kind of pick a poem that we found particularly engaging for tonight. If you guys find a favorite or something like that, you can let me know as well. Okay, but we got 2 pieces done. Let's keep marching. Oh man, you stay. I don't know how to say that. YFBW stay. It's their first thread. That's exciting for them. And their first thread is a new poem. We have to show them that this is an environment that's good for poets. So what can we say here? I'm so exhausted I could sleep. I'm so exhausted I could sleep. It's just that I always sleep. Even sleep makes me tired. The more I sleep, the more I want to sleep, but it isn't helping. What could I do? Maybe it's not sleep I want. Okay. Intriguing. So what could we say to this piece? So the thing that stands out the most is the repetitions of sleep. I like how it's almost like, I mean, not intentionally going for this, but like it's kind of playing with that metaphor of like counting sheep to fall asleep. Instead, it's like it's counting sleep in a way, just because it keeps appearing. I'm so exhausted I could sleep. It's just that I always sleep. Even sleep makes me tired. The more I sleep, the more I want to sleep. But it isn't helping. What could I do? I think I'm really drawn to those last 2 lines of the stanza. So those last 2 lines are the only moments in the poem where sleep doesn't appear. But it isn't helping. What could I do? I want to kind of dive more into that. It isn't helping. What is the It is the sleep. The sleep isn't helping the exhaustion, right? What could I do? It's interesting too because the first line of the poem is, I'm so exhausted I could sleep. So I think it creates kind of this intriguing moment. So you have a speaker that's going through these reflections. So the speaker is not sleeping. I always sleep. Well, they don't always sleep because they're awake when the speaker is recounting this time, right? But everything else is true. Even sleep makes me tired. The more I sleep, the more I want to sleep. Maybe it's not sleep I want. So there's some trying to explore the tensions here. So the comment that we are going to write for this piece also the fact there's no punctuation in lowercase. So what does that do? The poem doesn't have punctuation. How does that reinforce the poem? Punctuation would require breaks. It would require pauses. Pauses that kind of, stop you, almost like sleep does. By removing them, it also maybe kind of, I think, captures that kind of drowsy, meandering nature where things kind of start blurring together a lot more. So I think that the lack of punctuation is reinforcing that sense of exhaustion. That might be something I can write. So I like how removing the punctuation takes away the breaks, the opportunities for sleep. And causes the reader to kind of like meander from line to line, almost drowsy, until the final isolated close. Bam! Got another one done. We're rolling. And if you guys, again, think of things that you see in these pieces, you let me know. One thing on Threads that I had done is before the stream, I put a call out just in case if anyone wanted to send a piece for us to look at as we journey through poems on Threads, they could do so. Let's take a look and see if anyone has taken us up on that offer. Going home. And let us see. Oh, we did get a response, which is cool. I'm glad you felt as dizzy as I do. Cool. All right. Let's switch it up a bit. Let's go for some haiku. Okay. If there's a poetry form that you would like me to search for that we can see if we can try to find, let me know. But we're going to try haiku. Switch it to recent. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at this. All this, man. DB Armor 1. Let's take a look. Jump into the fray. Know that freedom awaits you. Trust yourself and leap. The thing that stands out to me is that last line with the comma. We don't have any other punctuation except for that last line. It's kind of ironic, right? Because that comma, you have to literally leap over the comma to get to the final close. So I like the reinforcement there. So that's what we're going to get. I think the comma in the last line is really reinforcing the concept. The reader has to leap over the comma to reach the end. Bam, bam, bam. Another one done. Keep rolling. See if I find another haiku. We got M's. M's IG. All right, M's. Not exactly haiku, not exactly review. I adapted a longer poem from a few months ago. Hope you like it. Safety. Cold but welcome friend. Familiar brutality. Safety in darkness. I think that there's a lot of tone words here. I think when you're thinking about your poems, I think it's really crucial to consider what's the emotion that you want your reader to walk away from once they finish your piece, right? So one of the things I like about this, because it's something that I'm always kind of paying attention to, because it's something that in the past I really struggled with, and so I think when you struggle with something in writing in the past, you're like hyper aware of it and paying extra attention to make sure that you're not falling into the same trap. So I like the emotive words. It's like the emotive language, cold brutality, and darkness really do a great job conveying I would say like conveying like heaviness and even violence. Yeah, and that's a really dark piece. We got another haiku. If Stay liked, send us some thanks. We're gonna keep rolling. What if we can actually find some real haiku? All right, and speaking of that, we got some real haiku by Chuga Kansada. Chuga Kansada. All right, and we got a picture too. That's like what we do, by the way. So if you see us on our socials, we have daily urban haiku, posting the picture of like a setting taken from a city, and attach a poem to it, haiku to it, and you can do the same if you're looking for some quick haiku prompts, kind of like this. Cumulonimbus. Lo, I wish I flew atop. Despair would vanish. I like that it plays with perception here, because it doesn't really vanish, right? It's below you. You flew atop. But the despair is the thing that causes the despair would just be beneath you, right? But then you wouldn't be afraid anymore. So maybe that would be literally, you know, I think the shifts on perspective are interesting. Some other things here. So you get the nature word with cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus is doing a lot of work. Okay, what do you think of when you think of cumulonimbus? Like to me, it's threatening. There's a sense of danger. There's a sense of potential harm. Okay, there's this kind of immensity to it. Okay, so all those things kind of come across. So I'm going to try to convey something like that in the note here. So I like to play with perspective. The idea of flying atop a danger, threat, cause of despair being enough to make it disappear, though in truth may not have vanished, but just stayed beneath us. I like that little play there. All right. So we got haiku with some nature words in, which is cool. Let's uh let's shift gears a little bit. I want to see if we can find. You think we'll find any sonnets? You think people are writing sonnets these days? People writing sonnets on threads? Is that happening? Oh my gosh, I'm not reading that long one. Super long one. I am Joe Fern says not a sonnet. I want to find a sonnet. Okay. This one's a sonnet. Focusing on autism. Number 2300, navigating norms. Okay. And if you have thoughts on this sonnet, let me know. I'll try to make it a little bigger. In a world where rhythms clash and worldwide, an autistic soul seeks harmony here amongst chaos where norms oft coincide. A mind unique, perception sharp and clear, emotions deep, yet often met with stares, the silent struggles faced from morn till night. A world unkind to difference it bears, each social cue a puzzle to get right. Each noise a light, a storm within the mind, in solitude a safe abode I find, where peace and understanding are entwined, yet still I rise with courage unconfined. Embracing self, a vibrant flame I stand, autistic heart in this holistic land. All right. That second to last, I would say the last quatrain threw me off a little bit with the, like, just the final rhymes, just the E rhymes. I want to see, do we have a volta? Let's pay attention to voltas. I think when you're analyzing poems, I think finding that volta, and if you're using a sonnet, you would expect it right around line 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. Each noise, each light, a storm within the mind. So how is the poem changing right around each noise? Because that is the thing that I'll probably want to comment on. In a world where rhythms clash and worldwide, autistic soul seeks harmony here amongst chaos where norms oft coincide. I'm not unique. Okay, so that first quatrain it's just kind of scene setting, right? And we're saying that there's tension. Autistic soul wants some harmony. The world around them doesn't really have that. There's chaos. Though this autistic soul has a mind unique, I'm assuming that line 2 and line 4 are referring to the same person. A mind unique, perception sharp and clear. Now we're describing the specific person, their emotions deep, often met with stares, silent struggles faced from morn until night. So now we're getting more into the head of the mind unique, right? We're getting into that interiority. Cool. A world unkind to difference it bears. It means the world. Each social cue a puzzle to get right. Each noise, each light, a storm within the mind. Okay, so it looks like the turn's kind of, so in solitude a safe abode I find. So this is the shift. Because before this, everything was about existing in a world where this happens. You know, I'm trying to seek harmony here. There's chaos outside. I have emotions, but other people exterior to me are staring. I'm facing struggles in the world. The world's unkind. There's social cues again with like people. There's noise. There's storms within the mind. So then suddenly in solitude a safe abode I find. So that shifts suddenly to comfort, safety, and things like that. With peace and understanding are entwined, yet still I rise. So a couple things that I like about this. Okay, I know what I'm going to say. I like the turn in the last quatrain. The last of the quatrains, where the rhyme scheme like doubles, basically. Mind, find, entwined, unconfined, and the poem shifts to really focusing on safety and the comfort, the speaker is able to find internally. As the speaker really is doing the work of subverting or maybe changing from everything that happened before it. So I like the Volta. I think that Volta is doing some work there. I like when Voltas do some work. All right, so we got a sonnet there. Can we find more? What is this? Is that AI generated? All right, anyways. No one's writing their own sonnets. How old Autistic is still writing sonnets, but we just gave them something. I want to find something else. They already got some comments. Sonnets seems like they're going to be no-go. Sonnet's going to be a no-go. That's all right. That is okay. All right, let's try a different form. Ooh, let's see. Maybe we can find a villanelle. You think people are writing villanelles on Threads? People are referencing villanelles, but no one's actually posting villanelles. It's all right. Not too surprised by that. All right, we may have to do shall we just go back to poetry, folks? Is that our goal? Maybe we'll try to read maybe 3 more pieces or so. Then we can kind of vote. Pick a favorite. Going back to poems. All right. Looking for a poem. Someone has posted on Threads. Does not gotten much love, especially with regards to comments. People are dropping excerpts of pieces, but I want the full piece. I want the full piece. I feel like this is from a piece. This is from a real poem. That's not theirs. Trying to see if we can find one that doesn't have any interaction on it. Because we want to try and spread some love. If you see a piece that stands out to you, let me know. Farouk Altaf. Got a rhyming poem. Don't see a title. All right. Posted this 4 hours ago. On the red walls of my heart, your name is etched, a work of art, a symbol of love, a symbol of fire that burns bright, my one desire. In every beat, I feel your name, a rhythm that echoes, a love that's the same. The letters dance, a gentle hue, a rose-tinted glow, my heart anew. No other name can take its place, for on these walls your name is engraved. In grace, a love so strong, a love so true, forever and always. My heart belongs to you. The red walls of my heart, a canvas so fine. Your name is the masterpiece, the love that's mine. In every moment, I'll cherish this art, the love we share, forever in my heart. All right. So what can we say for this piece? Is there anything? Rhyme schemes are regular, heart, art, fire, desire. So A, A, B, B, C, C, D, D, E, E, F, F, G, G, H, H. Okay. What do the rhymes do? Something that you could maybe make the argument for is that, so every line is pretty much like end stopped. And in fact, is every line also, almost every line also has some caesura in it. So we see some commas in the middle. So one thing that I think that effect has is every line becomes really regular. It's broken into very regular pieces. Like your name is etched, a work of art, a symbol of love, a symbol of fire that burns bright, my one desire. In every beat, I feel your name, a rhythm that echoes, a love the same. The letters dance, a gentle hue, rose-tinted glow, heart anew. For on these walls, your name's engraved in grace. That one's kind of long, right? A love so strong, a love so true, forever always. Heart belongs to you. Red walls in my heart, canvas so fine. The name is masterpiece, loves its mine. Okay, so one of the things, so this poem's really obsessed with hearts in rhythm, with some breaks in rhythm. So I think that can be something that we can mention. So I like how the rhythm of the poem largely, but not always, which can add, which adds to the tension of the poem, mirrors the beating of a heart. With every line, it's not every line, with nearly every line broken in the middle into a regular but dum, but dum. So it kind of mirrors that. Whoa, where did I go for a minute? Okay. Yes, this is what I wrote in the meantime. We had the little spike. Whoa. Okay. I think I'm back. Sorry about the spike. Okay. Anyways, hopefully you go back and see the poem. So this is what was kind of happening. So I said how I like how the rhythm of the poem largely mirrors the beating of the heart. Every line kind of has that caesura, that comma in the middle. So consistency is kind of like ba-dum, ba-dum. The walls, heart, name is etched, work of art, symbol of love. So it's kind of, repeated going into that rhythm. So I like how that is being mirrored. All right. We got to find more poems. Poems on threads. I don't know if this is their poem or not. Marzi is. You might just be stealing people's work. I don't know if that's yours or not. Happy birthday. People really not be posting poems. Extended metaphor. Are you... I don't know if you're Kaylee Iglesias. Poem about poetry. Again, I still don't know. Code Cherry, are you? Oh, Cherry. Are you the person? Are you Kaylee Iglesias? I don't know. But I want people I can verify are them. Can I find the poem piece that doesn't have anything attached to it? No likes. This is just too hard. God, it's too hard to read. Everything has at least one like. I'm trying to... Oh my gosh, I can't read this. Look how small that... Like, why? Why would you do that? Come on, people. Might refresh to see if anything's coming. Let's try a different tag. Let's try poetry. We're going to switch tags. I'd like to try to get through 2 more poems. Here we go. Pradeep. I got to study, but I enjoy reading poetry. You all have captivated my heart. I enjoy expression. May it be music, poetry, drawing. I like the beauty of expression. There's a lot of beautiful stuff on threads. I'm not a social media type person. I signed up this week. This here has been captivating. I see a lot of faith in God, which is respected. Truly inspirational. Thank you all for sharing. Interesting kind of little relationships and things going on here. I got to study, but I enjoy reading poetry. Okay, so just like from that opening, it seems like studying is not really the thing we want to do, but I do it. The thing we really want to do is in the reading. You all have captivated my heart. So the you is plural. I enjoy expression. I like the beauty of expression. There's a lot of beautiful stuff on threads. And then we get into some ironies, right? Like, I'm not a social media type person. Followed immediately by, I signed up this week. This here has been captivating. Also see a lot of faith in God. Respected, truly inspirational. Thank you all for sharing. I think the thing that draws me in the most is these 2 lines. I'm not a social media type person. I signed up this week. There's so much tension in that I think is worth really exploring more. Liking the tension of the 2 lines. I am not a social media type person. I signed up this week. I promise I can spell. This here the ironies of not being a social media person who then signs up recently for social media and likes it. Really points to the complexities of speakers and how reliable they are. All right. Comment. We're going to take a look. Let's find maybe one more poem to take a look at. One more piece. People saying they write poetry, but they're not posted in their poetry. Okay. This will be our final one for today. By Mayal. Drifting in the vastness of black space in Pieces or Pisces? What do you think? Pieces or Pisces there? Referring to the constellation or referring to pieces? I think it's pieces. I'm going to assume pieces. All sensation lost. My mind throbbed even as it tumbled, empty among Saturn's rings. The butterflies in my stomach flew out and landed on the shores of Venus. That's an interesting subversion, taking the cliche and trying to find a way to make it fresher. I appreciate that. But the butterflies in my stomach flew out and landed on the shores of Venus. Surreal and also taking it familiar and making it unfamiliar. When my heart bled, exsanguinated. Look at that word. Wow. Exsanguinated. Yet still beating at Pluto's door. I closed my eyes, futile as it is, waiting for my singularity to swallow me. Okay. So some things that are immediately standing out. So there's some interest in vision here, right? There's black space. There's no all sensation lost. For saying that all sensation is lost, this is a poem that has a decent amount of sensation going on. It's kind of ironic. All this is in the past. So what does that do? It creates distance in a poem that's a lot about distance. There's a lot of distance. Let's focus on the distance. There's so much distancing going on. That's what we're going to highlight. I really like the amount of distancing that occurs in the piece. Space. Drifting in space. Distance from the speaker and their senses. The mind tumbling out. The butterflies flying away. The blood leaving the speaker. The closing of eyes to keep vision distant. The waiting. The distance between time before something arrives and its actual arrival. We can end there. All right. Cool. Let's kind of just recap and see all the poems that we replied to and see if there's anyone in particular that we enjoyed the most. Let's see. We'll go to... Is it replies? Yes. Okay, so we have this one that we just saw. We have this one. We have this one. We have our sonnet. We have our haiku. Another short form. Another haiku. The exhausted poem. The Elvira poem. Elvira. And a Nobody Poet. You know, I think the one I'm going to pick is this Elvira one, because there's so many things happening that are a little bit confusing and ungrounding, but at the same time not enough to like stop me from reading, that I think are really interesting. And then everything suddenly makes so much more sense once you get to the cut, and then the scene in the speaker preparing for the next time to be on. Yeah, I think this one probably has the most little layers to it that I think is really interesting. So, not that they know or care, but this is the poem that I think would be the best one that I saw tonight. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me on my journey through Poems on Threads. If you write poems on Threads and you would ever like to have some analysis, we do analysis kind of like this, but more in depth on Sundays, right around 9 p.m. New York time. So if you have a piece you would like us to take a look at, feel free to float it our way. Besides that, I hope you guys all have a good day, good night, and good afternoon. Once more, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. You've been watching Diverses Live. We'll be back with some more poetry talk next week. You guys take care.